Hello everyone, welcome back. And Barcelona beats Real Madrid 2-1 in the preseason friendly in the United States. And obviously, I liked the way that Barcelona played. I think there were some good attacking movements there. I think sometimes there was moments in the game where I didn't think Barcelona maintained that much control, but it's against a great team like Madrid, so it's never going to be easy to dominate for 90 minutes. But I think they definitely could have been a little bit better in some aspects of the game. But of course, there's so many subs coming on. It's not, your best players, and it's not Madrid's best players. But I still think overall the way that Barcelona played, I really liked it, and I'm very excited with the way that Hansi Flick is using the team. I'm glad that we saw the players that were able to be rotated into the game, and Rafinha and Gundogan getting back into the first team is nice. But also players like Noah Darvic and Gueye Fernandez featuring in this game, and Vitor Roque playing as a 9. I think overall I really liked what I saw tonight, and Barcelona, I'm just very excited for this next season to start. And Pau Victor with his second Man of the Match award in his 2 games for Barcelona this preseason against City and Madrid. And I really have enjoyed the way that he's played. Not just the goals that he's taken very well, but also his overall play. I think those little touches that he has and he lays it off to his teammates, the movement that he's creating, and he's creating his own opportunities. I think the ball from Alex Valle in the first goal to Lewandowski, obviously Lewa meant to put that on goal, but it fell to Pau Victor, and that's because he followed his run, he followed it all the way through, and he was able to be in the right place at the right time. And then also that sliding finish, maybe got a bit fortunate with Courtois just nutmegging him, but maybe there's no such thing as luck when you're scoring goals, because I think he was in the right place at the right time. And overall, I've been very impressed with him this preseason. I know it's just 2 games, but he's coming off a very good season with Barca Athletic. And obviously they bought him for $2.5 million from Girona, and that's official. And they can't send him back to the B team because I think he's 22, about to be 23. And so I'm excited to see him. I think he is going to feature in the first team because of how good he's done this preseason. And I don't know what this means for Vitor Roque. Obviously, it was nice to see him get some minutes as a number 9. Lewandowski, I think he did have some overall good movements in this game. I think for the second goal, he did very well to play his part in that because he took a very good touch. He turned and then played it across the field to Alex Valle, who was able to play a very nice Trivela cross, low-driven cross to Pau Victor, who finished it off. So I did really like the way that Pau Victor played. I think Lewandowski had some good moments here and there. But Vitor Roque, obviously, I don't exactly know what this surgence of Pau Victor means for him and his future, or at least maybe his opportunities that he's going to be getting next season. But like I said, it was nice for him at least to get 15 minutes as the number 9, and I think overall he did have some pretty good layoffs, and I think pressing-wise he was good. I think he took one to the head, which that did not look very, very good, or at least looked a little bit painful when Courtois tried to clear, but it just hit Vitor Roque right in the head. But yeah, like I said, Pau Victor, I think he's been the standout in both of these games, and I've been very impressed with him, and I'm excited to see how well Hansi Flick uses him because, as a number 9, I think he was very good, but then obviously with Hansi Flick knowing that Lewandowski was coming back and able to start this game, he played him as a right winger, and Pau Victor, he still found a way to score a brace in this game, and also overall be able to contribute to the way that Barcelona want to play. And it was also nice defensively to see Alex Valle do very well as a right back. When Vinicius came on, obviously he found it much more difficult, and you had to put 2 people on him because everyone 1v1 was just getting burnt by Vinicius, which I can't really blame the defenders on that because a lot of them are youth players. I mean, it's difficult to go up against probably the best 1v1 player in the world right now. So it's understandable for Alex Valle, especially being played on his least favorable side. But he did very well in that right-hand side, and I think it's kind of similar to what Hector Fort does on the left because, maybe he's not able to get down the line as well as he usually would be able to, and maybe it makes it a little bit harder defensively because the way his body wants to turn. But I liked him on the left or on the right because when he was able to drop back and open up his hips to the game, I mean, he played a beautiful ball into Lewandowski. That should have been an assist. And then he also had a beautiful, beautiful assist. I mean, to take the ball down and in that position as well, in that second goal, when he got the ball from Lewandowski, I think a lot of people would have probably just tried to go on their favored left foot, maybe take a shot, maybe just put the ball in like he did in the first goal. But to be that creative and play it on the ground, Trivela pass through right between the goalkeeper and the center backs, that was beautiful, honestly. So Alex Valle, I was very impressed with him. Offensively going forward, he was great. Defensively against Vinicius, it was difficult, but like any player, he was also struggling there. So, and also Mikal Faye came on and played as a center back for the last maybe 20 minutes. I was impressed with him. Sergio Dominguez, I think he's also been very good, and Inigo Martinez, of course, was very good in this game. Christensen, decent for the 45 minutes that he played. And yeah, overall, I think defensively they were good. It was nice to see Alejandro Balde get some minutes as well. And I like the way that the defensive setup was for Hansi Flick in this game. And Marc Casado and Marc Bernal, I think they did have pretty good performances. They were working very hard. Like I said, they weren't able to be as dominant as on the ball as Barca typically likes to be. But that's understandable because you're playing a great team. I mean, Luka Modric and Arda Güler are on the other team, so it's not like Barca can have 70% possession in this game. I'm not really expecting that. But yeah, overall, I think Casado and Bernal, that double pivot, it worked pretty well again. I think off the ball was a lot of their actions were their meaningful moments in this game for Casado was, when he was trying to win the ball back and pressing. So he was very good, I think, as well. Like a lot of people do compare it to Kimmich, and I understand that because, yeah, he came out in an interview and said that too. Like a lot of the people in the locker room say that he is Barca's Kimmich, and I like that. Honestly, I think that that's very fitting for him. And I was impressed with that midfield again today. And Pablo Torre as well as an attacking midfielder, I did think he had some good touches. And before I forget, I mean, can we be completely honest with ourselves here? Did anyone watch that game from Barcelona and think, man, this would be so much better with Dani Olmo on the field? Absolutely not. I don't think anyone thought that. And that's just because I don't think that's exactly what Barca needs. I mean, it would have been so nice to have a direct left winger on that field, or maybe, a very quality defensive midfielder. That would have been nice. But I don't think Dani Olmo was the guy that was screaming in my head that, oh, this could really change the game for Barca. Like I said, if he does come, I'd be excited by it. But I've just watched these 2 preseason friendlies, and there's not really been a thought that the team needs to splash 60 million on Dani Olmo. I don't know if that's just me, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, Pau Victor on the right, and overall, I think Unai Hernandez, I think, was the left winger. He had some decent movements here and there. But yeah, I did like the way that Barcelona were set up. Obviously, with the delays, that was just a mess. I didn't even know if the game was going to continue. I got on FIFA, I was winning 1-0, and then I saw that the game was back on, so I quit. I would have given him the win, or them the win, but I was like, I need to go watch this game immediately. And I luckily got on like 60 seconds after it started. But yeah, that was a mess, and obviously with the conditions, maybe didn't get to see the best out of the teams. But overall, I did like the way that Barca played. They competed very well, and it's not an easy opponent, so I like the way that Barca played. I like the way that Hansi Flick set the team up, and I'm pretty happy with the 90 minutes that we saw. And I know it's just preseason, but I think Hansi Flick has done such a good job giving players opportunities like Noah Darvic. He's giving him minutes at the end of the game that, yes, he's probably not going to feature in Barcelona's first team, at least very often, if at all, next season. But you see players that they potentially have a future at the club, and so you want to give them these opportunities, and it's nice to see these players in preseason, especially when Barca, of course, they're missing a large majority of their first team players. But yeah, I was really impressed. I mean, Hector Fort came on. Mikhail Faye, like I said. Sergio Dominguez at center back was good. And who else? Guy Fernandez definitely had some good dribbles. He was a little bit wasteful sometimes. And I think Gundogan, I saw, was getting a little bit upset with that. But I think that's just basically you're trying to learn. And you don't want someone to be a little bit wasteful and give the ball away when you're trying to hold possession at the end of the game. And yeah, before I forget also, that corner that Barca gave up, I mean, that is some of the worst marking that I've seen in a very long time. I mean, I laughed because I was like, there's just no way someone should be back post that free. I mean, Nico Paz did not have a man on him for about 15 yards as a circle. I mean, that is not good enough, obviously. But, I mean, there's so many substitutions coming on. You're with new teammates every, 15 minutes. So it's difficult to keep that focus and that communication. Everyone knows where they're supposed to go. But that obviously can't happen for Barca when the season begins because, there were maybe 5 or 6 defenders near post. There were some people outside the box kind of just looking around, but no one was back post. That's been a while since I've seen a header that open, but like I said, that just can't happen, and it's good. It's a good learning experience. And Barca, then they played the next 12 minutes with only a 1-goal lead, and I think they did well to kind of keep possession and keep the game calm and control Vinicius as well because he was doing very good. He was trying to attack every single time he got the ball, so that was nice for Barca. I think I was impressed with the way that they played. And yeah, I actually haven't been on Twitter to see if Barca fans are excited about that game. Of course, just to get a win against Madrid. I know it's a preseason, but it's always nice. And of course, that's going to be a very big competitor for La Liga next season. And of course, for Europe as well. I think they're one of the best teams in the world. So for Barca to match them very well and to get a win in preseason, that's very nice. And I just like the way that all the Barca players played in this game. Honestly, I think there were a lot of very good performances. I think the youngsters, they have a lot of confidence right now, and I think that's to do with Hansi Flick giving them these opportunities and setting the team up very well. So overall, I really liked the performance from Barcelona. And like I said, I saw a lot of great things, but one thing that I think Barca could have been better at this game is maybe their players just showing to the ball, but of course it's, Marc Bernal and Casado, that's a young midfield, and Pablo Torre as well. They're young players on the field, so I'm not expecting these great performances every single time and having the confidence to show to every single ball. But I think sometimes, especially when Inigo Martinez or Alejandro Balde were on the ball, they just didn't have that many options. And I think it was Inigo Martinez that was just basically like waving his hands. He's like, someone make a run off of their man because I don't have anyone to pass it to. And I think there were, 5 to 10 minutes in this game where I just don't think Barca were able to really break out of that press, and they weren't able to build through the midfield. And I think Casado and Bernal, like I said, defensively off the ball, they had very good games. I think they were productive, and they were pressing very well and making it difficult for Madrid to build through their midfield. But I just don't think sometimes they were able to have that impact that we want on the ball. But it's understandable because, like I said, there are a lot of young players on the field, and it's against a great opponent. So that's understandable, but I just think it's preseason. You want to try and get better, and sometimes maybe to make a run at the ball to try and, to try and build up some space and, prevent the pressure coming on your center backs, because sometimes it was Inigo Martinez or Balde. They didn't have that many options, and then that kind of leads to a turnover. Then against great teams, you don't want to be turning the ball over in a bad area of the pitch. So just stuff like that I think Barca could have been better at. But overall, I really liked the way that they played. I think with all the youngsters on the field, it makes me very happy and excited for the future of Barcelona, because I know we see a lot of negative news surrounding the club, but just all these young players that Barca have, from La Masia, it's just very nice to see all of them in action, and I was very happy with all of their performances today. And Barcelona's season is coming up pretty fast, so it's nice to see players like Gundogan and Rafinha getting acclimated to the first team, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if they both start in the game against AC Milan, and they have one more preseason game, and then they have that friendly trophy, the Joan Gamper trophy. That game is in Barcelona against Monaco, so that'll be nice to see. But then after that, La Liga starts, so it's coming up very quick. So it's nice to see Barca getting these results, not just the results, but just the way that they're playing. I think they are playing with a lot of confidence, and I'm seeing the way that Hansi Flick wants to set this team up. And I think he's giving players the freedom to do what they want on the pitch, but also defensively, I think they're doing very well to stay compact. And it just seems like Barca, they do have an identity. I don't want to be super reactionary and say Hansi Flick's just revolutionized this team. But I think we can see an identity. And I think with Xavi, there were a lot of games, there would be months at a time where I would be asking the question, what do we actually want to do? Like, what's the game plan here? But I feel like I do see it in this game and also the game against City, where I feel like there is a plan, and Hansi Flick has that plan in place, and he's dug it into those players, and they know exactly what they should be doing. And like I said, it's just preseason games. But these La Masia kids, they very much impressed me in this preseason, really. In the game against City, they were very good. And then, of course, today, I was very impressed. So I'm happy with the performances so far. And then also, you're getting a lot of your first-team players back. And I know you're going to be starting the year with a couple injuries. I think the midfield especially can be pretty unpredictable. I could see Casado possibly getting a start in the first month of the season, because Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Gavi, they're all going to be out. So I'm just very excited for the season to start, because the way that Hansi Flick has set this team up, I'm just very confident in the way that they can go into next season, and I just think they can compete. My expectations for the season, I don't want to say that they're going to win all of these trophies. I just want to say that they can go into every single game competing, and they can compete for every single competition that they're in, and that's what I want the most from these players, and also just have that energy and the cohesive unit that Barca typically are. That's what I want to see, and I've been excited this preseason. I think that's what we've been able to see, and so yeah, I believe in the team right now, and another very good performance that makes me even more excited for this season to start. But as always, thank you very much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Visca Barca as always, and see you all later. Thank you very much. Peace.